Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Speed Champions Ford GT two-car pack with one classic and one current edition of the Ford GT race car. Let's actually look at these in that order from classic to current. This here represents the very GT40 Mark II that won at Le Mans in 1966 with the one and only Bruce McLaren co-driving and kicking off the four-year legendary reign of Ford at Le Mans. And I have to say that the build of this model is the single most unique vehicle that I've put together of LEGO parts ever. Easily, by far. It is really, really interesting. A very one-off design that just doesn't build upon any of the previous Speed Champions designs, and just seems like it was completely created absolutely from scratch. Even if you're not going to buy this set, if you're at all interested in interesting LEGO building techniques, I strongly recommend that you look up the instructions for this thing online and follow them all the way through. If they're not there by the time or at the time you're watching this video, just watch for them to show up, because they will. I'll give you just a little peek at some of the interestingness of this. Look at that. That piece right there in the center, that dark tan part, is a Mighty Micros upper chassis piece. You can see the little indents for the wheels on one side. That's what's used to get the driver down nice and low right in the center, while the rest of this is a fully custom build around that. It's really at the center of this. You build up the front section, you build up the rear section of the chassis separately. You add on the side panels of the body, you add on two sections of rear section of the body. So many things are just done in very unique ways. It does rely on stickers, as do all of the Speed Champions sets, to get some important details in there, but I'm not mad at them for it. Not mad at them at all, because those stickers do look good, and these things end up being really collectible display models, I would say. You know, the proportions are pretty good. When you consider that this is using just existing LEGO pieces, I couldn't have done any better than this, especially for something that can be built easily from instructions. Come on, look at this angle here to the nose. This here is actually hinged out, the whole thing. Panel piece right here gives a little extra clearance underneath. I guess you could see that as being something that opens up if you want to pretend to do maintenance on it. They've also angled back the rear window behind this thing that's on a hinge. As always, you can take up the canopy, and inside, you know, this isn't too special on the inside, but you know, what all do you expect in that amount of space, honestly. This is very interesting how this panel piece is used here to give just a little bit of extra clearance for the driver's head or helmet to fit in there. They've got the air intake scoops approximated here. They've got that nice near vertical but not fully vertical spoiler back at the tail, and all in all, I'm very happy with the end result here. I think that it looks good on display, and it was certainly just a joy to put together. I didn't understand where things were going at any point, but as each sub-assembly was attached to the next, it totally started to make sense, or immediately made sense once they were actually connected in hindsight. It's a fun thing to assemble. Now here is one of the 2016 Ford GT LM GTE Pro cars that ran at Le Mans for the 50th anniversary of the first win from 1966, hence the number 66 on this car. It was the lowest numbered one out there. This one did not make it to the podium, but two other cars made it to the podium in this year. And this is a completely different build as a LEGO model. Pretty much shares nothing with the other. This is much closer to a standard Speed Champions build. At least it has the same Speed Champions original fender pieces and Speed Champions style wheels with the replaceable wheel inserts. This is very difficult to design given the shape of the the Ford GT, the modern, the second generation Ford GT of the modern era, with just how much it pinches in behind the driver compartment there. And I think the designer of this Lego set has captured that quite well. It's a good thing that they've got these 2x2 wedge plates in their inventory now. They're the ones that have the point at one end. There are two types of 2x2 wedge plates now. One has the notch at one side and the notch at the opposite side as well. And this is the more traditional kind, the non-symmetrical kind. Those are used there. Another piece that's actually brand new for 2017 that is used for this one is on the nose, this 1x2 slope that is, or excuse me, curve really, that is cut off on the sides. And that's basically following the profile of a piece that has existed before, but was a one-piece unit that was a 2x4 that would include this and that in one part. But here these are individual pieces, and I think they're used to good effect here. And once again, lots of stickers. This one does have a print used for its canopy, whereas the other one did not. The other one just used a tile piece on top. This is the full length canopy, whereas the other one used the notched version just to compare. This one has the tile on top of it with a sticker. And this was also enjoyable to build, not nearly as enjoyable as the other vehicle. This one feels a lot more, even though it's so strangely shaped, it feels a lot more conventional in its design. Thing that I think I liked the most about this one was the use of these short droid arm pieces with the bend in them, which turn the angle of the clips 90 degrees from the base to the top. But then they used a relatively new piece, the 2x2 plate with the bars at either end, which perfectly accommodates that and allows you to get this good look. I like the use of the Technic brick there to represent the large outlets, and has the extended, very extended diffuser on the back. I actually think that this looks better than the 66 version. I think this looks more like the source material than the 66 version did, but if I could only have one of the two, I would definitely have to go for the original as something to display. It's just more iconic to me, and again, it was a lot more fun to put together. The interior of this one, once again, you just lift off the canopy and he has a steering wheel, and that's just all there is to it. By the way, the build of this one to allow the driver to sit down close to the ground uses a very standard and much used single piece main, like Lego system, Lego City car chassis piece that's been around for quite some time. It's just done in red here rather than the usual black. The three figures included here are, left to right, the classic driver. In the center is the modern driver, and on the right is just a generic modern pit crew member or team member who also has the wrench, which is important for changing out the wheel covers for any Speed Champions wheels on any of the normal cars. And he also comes with a checkered flag, so you can have a flagman involved. Turning these around, they do have prints on the backs, which are nice to see. I like the print of the one on the far left the best. I think it just goes really nicely with that color scheme. I like the front printing of the modern driver the most, including the leg printing. That's nice to get. Here's a look at the rest of the details of the faces that were just slightly obscured before, and there are no alternate faces on any of these heads. I mentioned the wheel inserts for Speed Champions, and these are the extras that are included in this set, which are 10 dual spoke ones in dark bluish gray. Last but not least, the set includes a podium with stickers for first, second, and third, a nice backer of Ford branding behind there, a large trophy, and rather than displaying just a trophy, of course, you can put figures on there in any of these positions, but it's just a nice, relevant, extra build. Too bad they don't give you three of the drivers from either era to put up there. This is some mighty nice fan service for fans of Ford racing programs, and I only hope that LEGO will also make a Speed Champions Ford GT, most modern version, street car, because you can't just leave off the stickers on this and expect it to look like a street car. There are a number, there's so much aero that is specific to the race car, to the GTE Pro, and I think it would just be quite dandy of them to make a street version in a later wave. That's it for my thoughts on this set. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave your thoughts about the set on the whole in a quick comment down below, and also let it be known which of these cars you personally prefer. I look forward to hearing what you have to say, and I'll talk to you again soon.